Good morning. It is Monday, April 20th. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and we're heading to the river. We don't have a ton of time to fish today, so I'm going to kind of challenge myself with something different. I'm going to fish a section of stream that's kind of inside of Fort Collins. The Poudre runs right through there, and I've heard it's really good fishing, but I've always skipped it because I'm always looking to go up into the mountains and up into the hills and everything, and I love all that. But I figured today, with a little bit less time to fish, we'll just check this section out. It's kind of amongst like some walking trails and things like that, so it still should be super pretty. And I've also heard there's some nice undercut banks and things like that we might be able to pull some trout out of. So looks like it's gonna be a really good morning today. I'm kind of thinking of starting off with streamers. Um, it's kind of early-ish morning. We had a colder, or a little bit colder night. It wasn't super chilly or anything. Um, but it was a little bit chillier, and I'm thinking bug activity might not be totally starting up yet. And with people telling me there's some nice undercut banks and things like that up there, I'm thinking that it might kind of be the move. But I try not to make too many decisions that way until I'm at the river. But we'll kind of loosely plan on that. Starting off streamers and maybe getting into some other stuff later on. Yeah, so we'll see. We're gonna stop at the gas station first, real quick, see what's going on over there, get ourselves a nice little breakfast burrito, and then we'll head up to the river. So let's get after it. Stopped off at the Maverick, got ourselves a green chili sausage burrito, and you got to get a maple donut while you're there. So got breakfast. We'll do a little drive-in chow and start fishing. Let's get after it. All right, we are rigged up and ready to go. We've got two rods actually today we're bringing with us. So we've got a TFO LK Legacy. It's a 6 weight that I really like for like my streamer fishing. I've also done a lot of dry flies on it, especially when it's nice and windy. So I got that one. Then we've also got my TFO Blue Ribbon. It's a 8'6" 4 weights. It's kind of my go-to for a lot of my mono rig stuff. I wish it was a little longer maybe, but I really love the casting on that rod, so I'll use it for a lot of mono rig and then a lot of dry fly stuff. So we got both of them. We're gonna go down to the river and see what's going on, see if there's much bug activity. We're kind of ready to switch over to a dry if we need to. Um, but if I can get away with that, I think I'm going to start picking it apart with some nymphs, go through a section, and then Depending on if we get anything or if we don't get anything, we'll switch over to the streamer rod and then pick apart the water that way too. So kind of planning on fishing a couple different techniques through every hole, seeing if that can help us get some fish in the net. All right, we have now hooked up with 2 fish and like a big old dummy, missed both of them because I was trying to hold the second rod that I brought a streamer rod and a nymph rod out, and just wasn't able to fight fish super well, so I lost both of those fish. One was on a big pheasant or a big streamer. The other one was on sort of 2 nymph setups. I'm not exactly sure which nymph he hit. So he drops the rod, drops the camera, hoping we can get another one right along the bank. Ducks hanging out over there. I just got up and flew. I was hoping they were going to keep going. Here's our section of river today. It's actually really nice. There's a road about right behind us. We're just kind of in the middle of Fort Collins, but I mean, you couldn't tell by where we're standing and what we're doing, so it's a good way to be. All right, that was pretty cool. I just fished this whole section through with nymphs, and before I left, I decided to do a streamer, and I kind of tied up this super crazy looking streamer pattern. It's got these feathers on it that have this screen print of a little small juvenile rainbow, and this brown trout just loves that. Beautiful fish. Well, we got 1 fish out of there. Hooked up with another one, but I didn't quite land him in the net. I've kind of been sucking at the net today. But got one on the streamer. I'm going to get a couple more casts back in there, see if I can pull another big one away from the bank. So just letting that drift down out of there. And we're going to jig it back up and through. Kind of trying to give it that dying bait fish look. I also kind of like to change directions halfway through, and sometimes that can entice a little bite there. Never been huge on streamers, but got underneath the rock there. Recently I've been really trying to challenge myself to get more into that streamer game and give it more of a shot. And I think one of the big things that has made a difference for me with it is instead of just letting that fly just strip through there like most people do, I've really been getting a lot of fish by kind of twitching my rod, almost like spin fishermen and bass fishermen do. I think it gives it a nice impression for those fish. It really makes that fish look more like a dying bait fish, which is exactly what we want. I bet that's exactly where that other fly is sitting. If we can find it or not. This one is definitely less visible. There's a fish. We'll keep him in this slow stuff if we can. A little smaller than that other one, but that's okay. Nice smaller brown. And that was off of just this kind of double woolly booger articulated. It's getting warm too. Time to take off a layer. Ticking on the bottom anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know, that looks like a pretty solid hole, so I think we're gonna switch up flies again. You know, I've been doing this kind of tag end thing everybody swears by, and I don't know what it is. Whenever I tie in flies onto that tag end, I never really seem to get anything going. I'm gonna go with a nice larger Prince nymph. Nice and bright, red collar, all the good things. And then I'm actually going to tie onto the bend of the hook. And we're going to go with an unweighted, no bead pheasant tail. I don't know, I'm going to keep trying to tag in stuff. Maybe it'll make a difference here soon. And I definitely like making changes with the tag end more. But for whatever reason, I cannot. I've been doing it the last few times, and I just slower fishing with it. It's really surprised me because there's some people that I really trust that are good fishermen that, I mean, just swear by it. I just haven't gotten it to work for me. So, if you got any pointers on tag in flies, shoot them over to me. I'd love to hear them. I feel like it could be such a nice, versatile thing. Easy to switch up, make changes, all the good stuff, but it just doesn't work out for me for some reason. So, probably a me issue. Couldn't find my net back there. Well, that makes it worth the changes. A nice, beautiful brown trout. Looks like we took him off that Prince. Gotta love a good old Prince nymph, baby. Tried and true. That's just got to be one of the most rewarding things in the world to me, or at least in terms of fly fishing, is having trouble, can't figure it out, make a change, and then it's game on, baby. All right, we've got one more little small section of stream we're going to fish here. We've got to kind of be quick about it if we're going to get on tape. I've only got about 15 minutes of recording time left. So I'm just going to rip through here with a nymph setup real quick. I got one more off the Prince nymph, so that's 2 off of that now. And then a few off the streamers. So we're going to hit this quick with our nymphs, and then we're going to hit it with streamers. There he goes. All right, we're gonna see if we can get a few more out of here. This little drainage right here is really just making some nice oxygenated water for those trout. And I'm really thinking that they're just gonna be held up inside of there. So we're gonna give this a few more casts, see if we can get down in there, get a few more fish out of there. Yep. Oh, lost him. Felt like I got a good hook set on that one. I don't know what happened. I think before we lose you, we're gonna go ahead and go grab that streamer rod, see if we can catch one on the streamer in there. Well, I think that'll do it. There's a insane log jam over there that I got hung up in, and I just know there's something down there, but I just can't cast to it. So pack it up, start heading on home, and we're gonna see, what the day ended up. It seemed like a nice day. I mean, I caught 8 fish about. Didn't, land all of them in the net, but hooked into quite a few fish. Had a ton of fun switching between the two. So we'll get back in the house and we'll break it down a little bit. All right, we are back home after a super fun day out on the water. It was a super good one today. It was super enjoyable. Caught a bunch of fish, hooked up with a lot of fish. Unfortunately, today I just sucked at netting for some reason. I missed 5 fish that I was hooked up with, fighting with, and couldn't get them into the net. So definitely need to figure out what's going on there and figure out my issues, but that's more of a me thing. I got a chance to fool a trout, which that's a huge thing, and I got a couple of really nice shots of some really cool fish. So all in all, super fun day on the water. I think the biggest thing for me was I actually got a chance to fish streamers, which I normally don't fish a lot of streamers. So that was a cool win for me. Just getting out there, getting uncomfortable, trying something new. I had a great time doing it and definitely testing some new things. And it was cool to dream up this kind of streamer and get out there and try to fish it. And then actually to catch my biggest fish of the day on that streamer was just kind of a cool thing for me. The other thing that was just really neat was, this was inside of Fort Collins. This was in town at some like little wildlife park thing, and it was just so cool to not be that far from home. It was a quick drive. It was maybe 20 minutes from my front door, and so that was super fun to just be able to get out there. Not a significant drive or anything like that. I spend a lot of time driving up to rivers and hunting and fishing, all that sort of stuff. I spend a lot of time behind the wheel of my truck, and I absolutely love those times. But sometimes it's just nice to be able to find a spot close to your house, not a huge deal to get to, find a space that where you can really find your own space on the water. So that was super cool. Don't overlook those spots. Find them in your own area. I'm sure we all have some pond, some lake, some reservoir, or some small piece of stream that we can get out there, call our own for a couple of hours, and really just enjoy some of that time outside. So that's going to be all for this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're interested in this kind of thing, liking this, we've got the Flying Trout podcast is obviously on Spotify, Apple Music, all those good things. It's also on YouTube. Check out our other YouTube videos and be free. Drop us a follow, drop us a like. All those things truly help, and it would mean the world to us. So thank you guys for tuning in. Find some space out there this week. Get out there, have a great time, and we'll see you out there.